Hi folks, I'm doing this in the name of the protests that are happening in Brazil, in the name of the people that are getting hurt in the streets, beaten by the police because their politicians forced the police to do that. And I say forced because right now there are police officers who are being held accountable and dismissed because, for instance, and I can put links to it below, they are like in the pepper spray, those police officers are putting water so it won't hurt the population, and those police officers are being dismissed. The police do not really want to do that. They are being forced by law to prevent it. And now, before it was mainly educated people who were out and protesting, people with a degree, people who were university students and so on and so forth. Now the people, the simple ones, the ones who really got the weight of the inequities that are happening in Brazil right now, they went to the streets to protest, and they are breaking things and they are getting hurt because they don't know any better, and they were so frustrated and they were so helpless. I have lived in Brazil in several years, I know. One of the reasons that I left is that I felt so frustrated I could not do anything. And if I tried, I was bashed and smashed by the system down there. So I had to move. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't see that good people, that Brazilians are, in their majority, being forced into the most horrible conditions of existence, as it is happening today. The international media, for some odd reason, decides to paint Brazil today as an example of democracy and freedom. They do not know what they are talking about. There is a book with words that you cannot say in Brazil, and if you say those words you can be arrested. Just like in the times of the dictatorship, it might change one or two things in the context. But this is not the topic. The topic is that just illustrates a little of what is going on down there. The repression, the censorship, the restraints, not to mention the economical pressure, like they are building those stadiums. Some of those stadiums, they sold tickets of seats that do not exist. So the corruption already reached that point. The World Cup hasn't even started yet, and people already realize that there are roles, entire roles, that do not exist. They only exist in the tickets. So all those inequities, and all this while the capital from hospitals and public transportation has been removed to build those pharaonic things that are going to be used just once and then left, as it has happened before in Brazil. So, as an appeal, because I know that the hospitals need money, and the government down there, of course, they do not want to give any money to that, because, you know, they... Ah, God. So I came to ask for a donation, any sort of donation, so I can send to the hospitals, at least to the hospitals, who by now must be, they were already full of people who couldn't get proper treatment. Right now it must be horrible with all the people that are getting hurt in the protests. So I'm sending this money to Brazil, to the hospitals. I will keep contact. I am in contact already with the people who are participating in those protests, to know which hospitals need more money, to which hospitals they are sending more hurt people, which areas that people are getting more hurt, so I can send the money to the hospitals. So they can have, hopefully, they can have some medicine at least to provide for the people that are ending up there. So I'm making this video to ask for donations for that. In exchange for the donations, I haven't figured out yet, it's because I'm so overwhelmed right now by what is going on in Brazil that I didn't even think about the prices. I'm putting a list of gifts, not to say prices, gifts for you if you donate something. The more money you donate, I'll give something, I'll try my best to give something in return for you. So as a token of goodwill and of thanks from someone who really wants to help the Brazilian people that are suffering a lot, and they have suffered for decades now. They have suffered all sorts of abuse. So please send some donation. Anything will do. Anything. I thank you in the behalf of those people that will receive your money in the hospital, so they will have the medicine and they will have, hopefully, the conditions to help the people that are already sick in the hospitals and do not get any treatment, to the ones that are coming in the hospital because of those protests. It is not just about the bus, the price of the bus ticket. It is not just about that. It's decades of abuse. Decades of abuse that have put an extensive part of the population into a poverty zone, despite the government saying that it's gone, because they are giving some crumbs to some of those people, never minding the hard workers who do not get enough to live. They do not get enough to live in Brazil because the taxes are so high. What's the point? You know, no raise will ever be enough with the amount of taxes that the Brazilians have to pay right now. It is all those things, plus the taxes, plus that the Brazilians are revolting, that they cannot take anymore. That part of the population resorted to criminality. And oddly enough, the people participating in the protests are not getting stolen. They are being bumped into, they are being laid down on the floor, inconscient because of police brutality, and they are not their possessions are not being taken, they are not being taken advantage. Which shows the true nature of the good Brazilian people, which shows that the reason that there was criminality in Brazil was because of their dire, extreme poverty conditions, desperation. The Brazilians who resorted to that were desperate. They were not evil, they were not mean, they were desperate. So I'm asking a donation so I can send it to the people in Brazil, to the hospitals, because they need this money. Thank you.